Yo, I'm
Sam
here with
Mohammed.
Mo or Mo. We just started live. We started live with Mo. Mo Khan, the man of the moment. Is this your first time ever being like thrown in the spotlight with fame, with a controversy or any type of fame, or no?
Honestly, at Temple, I had a little bit of a reputation, but at this countrywide scale, nothing like it before, honestly.
Okay. So you've had a little controversy before, so it's not like totally new to you. Because some people kind of freak out when they get like pushed in like the spotlight with something kind of extreme. To me, I like being the villain. So, but it's
Nah,
it is pretty
like
it
Bateman.
is pretty crazy. Yeah, it is pretty crazy though. Like your whole story is insane. Have you been kicked out of school?
Yeah, so kind of went over this with Stu, but I'm on interim suspension right now. I talked to the vice president of student affairs, and he kind of gave me the timeline. I'm gonna report to the investigator and see how their investigation goes, and then after that, I have to go to student conduct court for Temple University, and then from
Investigation
there they're
for
going to
what? Are you
determine
even
for
if I
what.
know you didn't do this line, but even if you did, do we not have a fucking free speech to say fuck the Jews? You could say fuck the whites. You could say fuck the Christians. You could say fuck the Muslims. Should you say the things? Maybe not, but you fucking can. So why can't you say fuck the Jews? I
Right,
think
that's the
people are
whole
just getting
argument.
sick of this bullshit.
Terrible. It's the whole argument that we're going to present to them, honestly. But everyone in the Jewish community is kind of seeming to come together, and I feel like we need the same support from our people uniting together, regardless of whether you're Muslim, Christian, white, brown, like me, etc. I think we need to come
Mm.
together for one stand and kind of show them that we're going to fight for our rights. We're going to fight for what is right, and go from there.
No, us Goyim need to stick together. I couldn't know it more. They stick together. That's why they dominate. It's not because they're smarter, because they stick together. They fight together. They try to cancel you. They try to kick you out of school. They try to fucking send you to Auschwitz or they'll destroy your family. Who the fuck is Dave Portnoy to send you to Auschwitz or he's going to destroy your family, he said? Fuck you, Dave Portnoy. Fuck you. What would you say to Dave Portnoy? You got anything you want to say to him?
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of a little threatening, especially from someone like him, twice the age of me, multi-millionaire, like I said, has connections to all these different establishments and institutions. I was essentially a nobody going up against one of the most powerful people in the world, and just for that type of monumental pressure to be on a 21-year-old, it's kind of scary, you know what I'm saying? But luckily, I straightened my head out. I'm keeping my head high. I got my head on my shoulders, and I'm just trying to make the best of the situation now.
No, I do know, bro. I remember being 21. Life is scary, and he's trying to destroy your life. He's literally trying to destroy your life, saying you can't get any work opportunities. I've already been successful, so I have a lot of pressure. But you know what? I've been successful. I have money put away, so I can say fuck you. But it's harder to you. But when he said he was going to make you go to Auschwitz, I was thinking maybe I could contact this guy and get go, whatever fucking. We'll plug that in a second. So you don't fucking
PSG.
have to go to Auschwitz. The fact that they make you go to Auschwitz is so humiliating. I'm so glad you said fuck you. I'm not going to Auschwitz. Whether you use those words or not, the fact that he thinks he has a right to send you to Auschwitz. Why don't we fucking send him to Gaza? You know, they're fucking they're committing genocide as we speak, and they want to send you to fucking Auschwitz, something that maybe happened, allegedly. We're watching this shit on fucking video, and they're denying it. I'm fed up, you know. I think a lot of people are.
Honestly,
I think that's why when the fuck Jew sign came out, everyone started celebrating, laughing, cheering. Maybe they should do a little self-reflection and be like, why is everyone cheering a sign that says fuck the Jews on? And I have Jewish friends. I don't dislike all Jews. We talked earlier. You're the same boat as me. But as a whole, they're creating anti-Semitism with this bullshit, and it's like we're fed up. Enough is enough. Plug your go. I'm gonna send you some fucking money after this. Let's fucking plug your go. I don't fucking know what go send
GSP,
whatever
go send go,
GSG.
whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so like you're up.
honestly, the thing with that Auschwitz trip, really, it was kind of a way for me to make amends, and even though I did nothing wrong, and it was kind of being used as implied leverage in the sense that have I had I completed it and went along with it, I would have essentially been scot free and maybe reinstated at
Hmm.
Temple. And it wasn't necessarily me having an issue with the trip itself. It was kind of just after some reflection about the thoughts that and actions that I'd done under duress, I kind of came to the conclusion that, wait, hold up, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm being essentially bullied by a megalomaniac who thinks he has all the power in this situation because of how big and known he is, and do not want to do that. And I was like, why do I have to do that? And honestly, I was trying to tell him that I would still be willing to go and learn, as he'd say, as long as I was able to keep my temple reputation solid, which is what my parents mostly had cared about in the first
So wait, they
place.
suspended you, and then they still wanted you to go after he suspended you.
Right, right.
What
The
a
whole point of
cocksucker.
this was that I wasn't going to get suspended. I wasn't going to lose my job. And the next morning, that's exactly what happened because Portnoy went against his words, posted a picture of my face and my name right on his Twitter with over 3 million followers, blatantly lying to me about the whole situation. And then I was fucked regardless. So
Yeah,
he's calling me a liar about so many things, but who was actually the liar? Who didn't hold on to their word?
As many of you know, I have many controversial guests, so that comes at a cost of being demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support the program, go to fightbackpodcast.com, and I have all kinds of merch on there, whether it's jiu-jitsu, fighting, political, and other accessories. And thanks for the support. Hey guys, Jake Schultz here. As you know, I have a free speech podcast. To keep that going, it's important to have sponsors and support them. If you want to support them and me, go to antelopehillpublishing.com and be sure to use the promo code FIGHTBACK. They have tons of different books that are hard to get. Today I recommend Opiate of the Masses. It's a full journalistic investigation into the opiate crisis in America. So again, to support the podcast, antelopehillpublishing.com and the promo code FIGHTBACK. Yeah, keeping your word's the most important thing, man. Your word's all you have. I can't stand people who don't keep your word. He leaked you anyways. He fired everyone. And what pissed me off is he acted like, I'm going to show him some mercy. I'll just let him be a learning experience and send him to Auschwitz. Like, who is he to be able to send you to Auschwitz? Who is he to be able to destroy your life? Who is he to be able to destroy your family life? Why are we allowing these fucking Jews to have so much power? Not all Jews, but there are these fucking Jews causing problems. Like at school, they're taking away people's visas for protesting Israel, but not America. You can burn an American flag on campus. You can't burn an Israeli flag. Like, when are we going to say enough is enough as Americans? Like, we need to stick together. Black people, Muslim people, Christians, non-Christians, atheists. We need to realize these people are manipulating the fuck of us, and enough is enough. And I'm glad people like you had the courage to be like, I'm not bending the knee and going to Auschwitz. And I know it's really tough at your age. You don't have money yet. You don't have security. And this guy with all this power saying he's going to ruin your life, you know, but we got to stick together, and hopefully someone will offer you a good job if you're fired. We got to raise your money on the Go. Fucking terrible. I don't know the name of that shit. It's just, I'll tweet it out and stuff after the show, the link and stuff. But no, it's bullshit. It's like, it's time we stand up and say enough is enough. Stop bending the knee, letting these Jews make us go to re-education. Like all the black guys, you ever see like Kylie Irving when he tweeted something that the black people are the real Israelites? He had to pay $500 million and go on a tour apologizing to rabbis. It's like, for what? For saying black people are the real Israelis? It's not like the fucking European Jews are the real fucking Israelis of the Bible either.
Right. It just all comes back to defending our constitutional rights as a group of people. Kind of just
Exactly.
like how they want to defend whatever they think is right.
Well,
But touching back to the manipulative word that you used earlier, that's another issue that I'm seemingly facing right now, and it's just how easily the narrative of anything can be twisted on social media. And not just social media, but the news itself, which is why I've been avoiding a lot of these mainstream news articles and news stations that have been reaching out to me. I've had the AP reach out to me. I've had Fox News, New York Times, New York Post, you name it, they've reached out to me. But I'm just nervous because I've seen from a small scale how the Jewish community can kind of misinterpret things that are being presented to them and even come up with some things that aren't true. For example, Portnoy completely and utterly accusing me of being behind the sign, ordering the sign, making the sign come out, etc. And that's kind of freaked me out to the point where I don't even want to go to Fox. I don't even want to go to New York Times. I don't even want to go to New York Post. And I'd rather stick with you guys where we're able to get a real conversation without twisting the truth. But even then, going back to Stu Peters and I, there was one moment where he questioned me about Jewish supremacy, and I related it to the narrative of how the supremacy on the news networks and social media makes it so easy for them to manipulate what's right, what's wrong, what's true, and what's false. And it's honestly, to me, just a scary sight that they were able to take that out of context as well, you know? So,
Well, the majority of media is owned by Jewish corporations. That's just a fact. They'll call it anti-Semitic, but it's true. Same with Hollywood. It's the narrative being pushed. Oh, and it's quite an honor that you come to guys like me instead. But the news have destroyed the trust. That's why they're freaking out, because we can come, we have our own voices on Twitter now. We can come to people like me, Stu. The truth's getting out. I think that's why they're melting down the way they are. That's why Dave Portnoy is doing like 15 videos freaking out, because before this shit worked, but now you could stand up. Before, you'd had nowhere to go. You would have been completely fought, completely blacklisted. Media would have bashed you, but now you can go and tell your own story. We can get it on Twitter. We can get it on podcasts. We can push it out everywhere, and that's causing them to freak out.
right, yeah, no, and let's touch upon Dave Portnoy and his recent posts. Honestly, I wasn't even paying much attention to them. I was having more of the people supporting me reaching out and showing me what he was posting, but essentially he's just posting videos from 2 or 3 years ago where I'm a young college kid having a fun time doing stupid stuff with my friends. Like, we all haven't done that.
We all do such dumb shit. I'm so glad video cameras weren't everyone. I was young. I've done so much dumb shit because young men
Tell
do.
me about it. So I was just about to bring up, Portnoy has been accused for a lot of different things just within the past 10 years. If we take it back to when he was 30, 25, 20, God knows what he was doing back then when cameras
He was
weren't
posting naked pictures of 2-year-olds, like making sexual jokes. That's pretty fucking disgusting. Could you argue it was a joke? Maybe, I don't know, but it's still pretty worse than anything you did. We all do stupid shit when we're young men. We fuck around, humor. A lot of men, when you're close together, you do racist humor together, like in fight gyms. I say hella racist shit to my fucking friends, but we're not like serious. We're joking around.
100%. Tell me about it. So let me just touch upon that one post that went a little viral where I was like, throw a quarter on the ground, find a gym. I'm sure you've seen it.
You should have had pennies instead, but
Speaking of that, there's another video that Portnoy just posted, and it had to do with me sitting at a restaurant and throwing some coins on the ground. As a joke, obviously, that's the same type of joke that my Asian friend would come out, and when I just came out of the shower, he'd be like, dude, why do you still smell like shit, you stinky Indian? Here's some cologne.
Right.
And I'd be like, shut up, you chink. Like, it's just common back and forth humor between people that are good friends. Like, would you not have a friend group?
No, that's the thing. People that like women and men that don't get this humor, they don't have good friend groups, because that's how young men, even some older men, when we're fighting, that's how we speak to each other.
Right.
So some people don't get it when you're insulting each other, like some of the group texts, like racially, and like, oh, if this shit came out, I'm the only white guy on there. But they say we're shitting on each other because we're such good friends. Now, a random guy couldn't say that to you. A random guy can't come up and call you a stinky Indian, but one of your fucking good friends who's your homie. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, these relationships where you're saying things, like, we understand we don't really mean it. It's kind of like the joke, girls, they'll overcompliment each other, they don't mean it, and men insult each other and we don't mean it. It's just kind of how you fuck around and bond. So throwing quarters on the ground for Jewish friends is funny. On a serious note, like, I remember being at a club, people making it rain, and I would never touch the money out of dignity. And then your Jewish friends are picking it up. I'm just like, you guys just can't help it.
Joke.
They really do it, though. They're just like, so there is like some truth to stereotype. That's why it's funny. Like, you gotta
exactly. Like, it wouldn't be funny if my friend went to a white person and was like, why do you still smell like shit? Because it wouldn't even make sense.
No,
so,
exactly.
like, obviously if you have a good friend group, you're cracking healthy jokes with each other as a way to bond and mature. Mm-hmm. I've obviously even seen some statistics where it says that friends that joke around with each other at a more serious level and kind of tease each other and make fun of each other, they maintain stronger bonds and relationships. It just goes to show that this type of stuff is not something that is anti-Semitic or hating on any type of group of people. It's just a joke. And if you can't take a joke, I'm not here to defend myself about jokes. You feel me?
Yeah. Did you say you're Indian? The Indian hate on Twitter is ridiculous right now. I think it's too extreme, but you guys aren't freaking out trying to cancel people.
No, I don't give a
Like,
shit.
have you seen some of the
I
Indian
hate
shit on
on
Twitter?
Indians as much as the next guy. I hate
You're not-
Indian accents. I hate people with Indian accents. It makes
Oh,
me
oh,
mad.
the accents are terrible. That makes me. What's the
Hello?
word for anti?
Hello?
Yeah, yeah, no,
Nah,
yeah.
yeah.
But you're not going to try to
It's-
cancel me if I had a sign that said "fuck the Indians." You're not going to be like, I'm going to ruin your family's life. That's the thing. I'm just sick of this shit. Especially when there's a. Let's go to Palestine real quick. Yeah, and do you watch the videos over there and shit? Do you see what's going on in Palestine? I don't know. If
Of course, brother. I've been getting a lot of different texts and DMs from random bot accounts showing pictures of dying children, mothers holding their children in their arms as they're getting bombed, babies in hospitals with blood running down their faces, fathers sheltering their sons from falling rubble, and it just really, it's kind of hard to talk about, honestly, from an emotional standpoint, because it really hits you right in the heart. But it's terrible, honestly, and it's not even like I'm hating. It's more like I'm trying to sympathize and show my love for Palestine and what they're going through in other countries in the Middle East, such as Yemen, one of the smallest countries in the Middle East, really not backing down from the attacks that they're receiving. In a symbolic and similar manner, I'd kind of compare myself in the same way, where I don't want to stand down to all the attacks that I'm receiving. I don't want to bow down. I'm not bending my knee, and I'm standing tall and strong. And even though I'm the smaller guy and I'm going up against a giant, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Man, yeah, no, I'm glad you made this choice, and we'll stand behind you. And like you said, I get a lot of criticism because I fucking support the Houthis. Everyone's, oh, you're a terrorist supporter against America. I'm like, fuck you, dude. These guys are standing up for what's right. America's in the wrong. America's shameful supporting Israel. I don't fucking support genocide. These Houthis are fucking standing up to it. So I'm going to support anyone standing up to evil, even if it's not my own nation.
Right, 100%. And then we can relate this back to the topic of the sign that said "fuck the Jews." Well, like I said, I wasn't responsible clearly, but people still think for some reason I was, because of Portnoy's ultimate slandering of my name. But at the end of the day, it was a provocative sign because everyone knows what Israel's doing around the world, So I documented it and I posted it. Did I do something wrong? Maybe in their eyes, but in the eyes of the law, in the eyes of everyone else, did I do something wrong? Doesn't look like it.
Nope.
Doesn't look like it.
Well, and even if you did put a sign that says "fuck the Jews," your First Amendment right, you can say "fuck the Jews." And what do they think's gonna happen when they're just bombing kids? I have young children, man. I had to stop watching these videos because it's just the most sickening thing I've ever seen. And then I was on some of those Israeli channels. They're laughing, mocking it, and the majority of Jews are supporting it. Not all of them, a lot aren't, but you have 75% of Jews, something in America, are supporting this. And not only that, they're getting people like you fired, banned from school. They're getting students expelled. They're fucking trying to cancel our rights. They just tried passing a law where they throw you in prison for boycotting Israel. They think they can just dominate us, manipulate us, and bully us, and fire us, and cancel us. And we're just fucking fed up. That's why we need more brave people like you to stand up, For me, people like, yo, you're brave. Yeah, I lost a lot of money, but I already had money. I've already had a successful fucking career. So it takes a lot when you haven't been successful yet and you have this pressure. So I was so happy when I saw you did him in the knee. I was trying to I need to get a hold of this guy and see if we could raise him some money or something instead, because it's just...
No, I appreciate it a lot, and I appreciate you for having me on here, too, just to be able to get my message and have a platform to really talk about things. It means a lot. You and Stu, I'm forever grateful. And hopefully there's more to come, because I know there's a lot more to talk about with many different people. We all have, a lot of different perspectives on things, and it's just good to get that voice out there. So.
No, and I try to have lots of conversations. I hear people I disagree with too. Just try to have honest, real conversations where you understand each other. Not people... the media's not trying to do that. They're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to trick you. We agree with most shit probably, but it's I'll bring people I don't too and try to have honest conversations with them. And the media's not doing that, and they're falling apart though, because people are seeing it. They're seeing through their bullshit lies. People are sick of getting manipulated, and that's what's happening. People are waking up, and they're trying to cancel you. I hope you get back in school. That's why you need money for lawyers and shit. But the idea that they would kick you out of school, I don't on what grounds would they even do that on? It doesn't make sense to me. You weren't at school either, so you weren't at a school function. You weren't at during BLM, there was so much anti-white hate. You know, kids saying "fuck whites," "fuck that." No one's getting kicked out of school. When
Right.
they didn't do an anti-white task force. Why does Trump need an anti-Semitism task force? He just passed. Like, there's not an anti-Indian task force, an anti-white task force. We have an anti-Semitism task force. We just did a new Holocaust thing he passed today. The Holocaust was fucking, I don't know, 80 something years ago, allegedly. And then fucking, we're watching what happened today that we're supporting.
Right. No, and I think it all ties back to this notion of trying to cancel culture, which ironically is what Dave Portnoy has built his career, reputation, and a multi-million-dollar business on. So I don't understand where he's coming from when I'm just confused when he's trying to do something that is clearly hypocritical, and how it's being received so well also kind of leaves me a little bit in a daze. But
I think it's just it's what people are realizing. Not again. I need to be clear. Not all, but a lot of Jewish people always put their tribe before anything else. That's why they've been dominant. So he could act cancel culture, this, that, but as soon as anything about Jews, loses his mind, flips out. Free speech doesn't apply if it's against Jews. I mean, look at who the top censorship organizations are in the world. The ADL, that was started for a Jew guy who raped and killed a 13-year-old girl, and they didn't care because she was a goyim. So they started an organization, and that's who runs Google now. They train the FBI agents. It's a Jew only Jew premise organization. That's who's censoring us. That and the SPLC, they just wrote an article against me. The head guy from that was a Jew guy. He just stepped down trying to rape his own daughter. These sick, child fucking, disgusting demons are the ones trying to control our speech. Like, they're literally fucking children, and they're telling us we can't say things.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just like,
I don't know how that jives with me, but I just got a notification that Portnoy dropped another video. And for example, here's an example of how the media can spin anything out of control. So there's a video of me spitting on two crackheads outside of a club back in freshman year, I think. And these two crackheads were harassing two girls I was with. All of a sudden, I'm the bad guy for spitting on people that are sitting on a bench. These people don't even know that, first of all, they're crackheads. Second of all, they're harassing ladies that I'm with.
right?
So,
I lived in San Francisco for a bunch of years, so I understand the crackhead problem. They were harassing people, and it's like, no, the crackheads aren't the fucking good guys. They're like these fucked up, strung out, attack you. Remember, I kicked a crackhead once because he's coming near a girl I was with, you know, and dropped him.
That's quite literally what happened. They were yelling at our girl and the other girls that we were with, and it was just kind of like, all right, dude, I don't give a fuck. I'll spit on you. You're a crackhead. Yeah. Who cares? Who cares? Exactly. In a similar manner, when I went and poured water on a homeless guy, who cares? I pay my own rent. I want my block to be clean. God forbid, and God knows that Temple's not doing anything about it, because I have 20 people getting shot around campus, and it doesn't even make the news. But something like a sign would make the news.
Yeah, you know, people getting shot, crackheads, shooting on the street. That was San Francisco. And then I would be the bad guy for being like, maybe we shouldn't let people riot, and maybe we shouldn't let black people riot just because there was a black guy, you know, died by a cop. You're a racist, blah, blah. And like, people are shitting on the streets. They stopped enforcing the crime for years in San Francisco. The cops were basically told, like, oh, if someone's black, you could let them, like, do whatever. They could do crimes. It was madness. It's like, I just want the same rules for all racial groups. That's what I'm asking.
Brother, I'm asking for the same. Were you close to Skid Row by any chance?
Oh, that's in L.A., but San Francisco has an area which is like that, maybe.
Oh, you said San Fran. I thought
San
you said
Francisco,
California.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah, well, it is California, but San Francisco. So San Francisco is probably even worse, but it's like Skid Row. It's just these demented. People think I'm an asshole and talk about homeless people, but once you're around these people, they're like these demented demons, soulless. They're strung out on crack and fucking fentanyl. They'll attack you. They like fucking sores all over their bodies. They shit on the streets. They have needles everywhere. They throw trash. They just completely destroy. San Francisco spends like $1 billion a year or something for the homeless, and it just gets worse. They give them free drugs, keep them strung out there, and it's just, they ruin our country, and we're the bad guys for being sick of it, saying get the fuck off my block. Hey guys, Jake Shields here. If you want to support Fight Back Podcast, our brand new sponsor is Think Zinc. They're a company that supports free speech, and they're opposed to genocide. This is a 7-in-1 formula with all the highest grade vitamins and minerals. It has magnesium, zinc, vitamin E, vitamin C, and house and MCT oils. This is great for elite athletes and the common person. Methylene blue has been used for over 100 years for medical purposes and recently surged back into popularity. It has been shown to help repair brain tissue and improve memory, cognitive function, energy, and mood. Research suggests that methylene blue could have neuroprotective effects, possibly aiding in conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and depression. Go to MerakiMedicinal.com and use the promo code FIGHTBACK for a discount.
Right. No, it's just another way that the narrative just gets spun around, and I don't know, there's not much we can do about it besides come on here and avoid the mainstream outlets and kind of just speak our truth, you know what I mean?
I think we are changing the narrative, though. Like, I don't know, the comments and Portnoy's things, he was getting dragged pretty hard. I know it was, like, mixed, but I think he was getting a lot more hate than he was love. There was tons
No,
of
and
people
I
telling him
appreciate
to
the
fuck off.
support coming from everyone, understanding where I'm coming from, I'm understanding where the support that I'm getting is coming from, and honestly, I'll just touch upon, I could have made, I don't want to say the exact amount, but I could have made a lot of money yesterday, and doing the exact same thing that people have accused Portnoy of doing 18 times, and that's dumping meme coins. And I really didn't. I let the people use my name. I let the people use my likeness. I made sure that they all made a little bit of money off of it. And now I'm promoting a solid coin that is backed by a solid person, J-Proof. And so as you can see, I'm a good guy. I could have let anyone go broke yesterday. I could have made my. I'll tell you the number. You want to know the number?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I could have made my 750,000. I could have made
Damn.
it, and I
Damn,
didn't
you're
make
young,
it.
too. That's a lot of money. That's
I let a lot of people take a
because you
lot
had
of that
honor,
money.
you know. But
I
honor goes
let-
first.
I let a lot of people take a lot of that money, and I took the little bits left at the end. Not anywhere near 750,000 to a million. I wonder how much Dave might have made
But
off
at least
of.
you have honor and dignity.
Yeah,
We lost
so-
it for a second. We're back, so I lost you for a
No,
second.
you're
But yeah,
good.
you're
You're
saying
good.
how you almost, you're going off how you. We're good for a second. So you're going off, yeah, how the fucking you could have the 750. We did the honorable thing and didn't. But that's the right thing to do. Again, you have your fucking dignity and self-respect. Unlike Dave Portnoy, who's done the fucking rug pull and scammed. He's rich and he's scamming middle-class people. Like, how disgusting are you when you're already, you know, what, I don't know, multi-millionaire, billionaire, and he needs to do the rug pull and like and scam middle-class people.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But as I said yesterday, that's not what I was trying to do. Like I said, 750,000 might be cutting it a little short as well. I could have really ran off with a lot of money. I made sure that the people that were trying to make money off of this also made their little bits of money. And at the end, I made my little bit of money. But at the end, I still have my dignity. I still have my honor. I still have my word. And hopefully people can see that, because as of right now, that's all I have, you know? And I'm trying to stand by it. Trying to stand by the fact that I did nothing wrong. Trying to stand by the fact that I want all of us to come together, support the one cause of our constitutional rights being our American rights. And I want to bring attention to what's going on in Palestine, and I want to bring attention to how I think Dave's acting like a little bit of a man-child right now, and he's coming at a 21-year-old with limited resources, absolutely trying to annihilate me off the face of the planet when I haven't done anything wrong. And like we touched upon, everything that he's using is significantly old dirt, and in a way, everything's explainable, but they're just going to take it out of context. Like I said with the crackheads on the bench, like I said with the pennies on the ground joke, like I said with the story where I actually put throw a quarter, find a joke. These are all jokes. I've made those jokes with my Jewish friends, just like they've made Muslim 9/11 jokes with me, or Indians eating poop curry.
Yeah.
Like, we have thick skin, brother. You know what I mean? We have real thick skin. Unlike Portnoy, I guess, saying he has thick skin, but then wants to utterly take me off the face of the planet. It's just kind of confusing to me, and I'm not really sure how it lines up with what he's saying. So,
Yeah, I mean, your name being Muhammad, you probably gotten tons of terrorist jokes too, right? It's like, but you're not going to lose your mind and be like, I'm going to destroy your family. I think people are just sick of this fucking gay ass. I don't know. I think Dave's a bitch, thinking he could just destroy people. And the fact is, it's crazy they've been getting away with this for so many years, and we've sat back and allowed a tiny group to boss the rest of us around, tell us what we can say. I guess it's because they have control of the media, Hollywood, the music industry, and everyone knows, like, you'll hear, like, the black guys, you can talk crap about white people, don't talk shit about a Jew, they get, like, all scared real quick, and it's just, there's a point where enough's enough, If I want to make a sign that says, fuck the Jews, I have a right to do that as an American, I can say, fuck the Jews, and I don't hate all Jews, but you could understand with what we're seeing with Palestine on the campuses, Anti-Semitism acts, people are just fed up, and they're creating anti-Semitism. There's going to be a lot more fuck the signs. There's going to be more Kanye's having signs going, nigga, hell, Hitler, his new song that he's got dropping. It's like, that shit ain't coming out of a vacuum.
Right. And let's just kind of touch back upon the fact where you were like, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of terrorist jokes with your name being Muhammad. Right, I have. But another thing is that with my name being Muhammad, I kind of find it weird that I am the only person getting publicly slandered. I also happen to be
that's an interesting point you make.
I also happen to be brown and Muslim.
Yeah, who are the other guys? Are they like white? Are they getting a special pass? Like, I think everyone should be treated equal. I think it's weird. That is a good point that they're only attacking you at the Muslims. Is it like, he's going to pick on the Muslim guy? That's interesting.
Does it make me an easy scapegoat and an easy target to just pin it on? And that's kind of where I'm confused. But I guess someone has to take the blame, and now I got
no. I think it's good for you not to throw other people under the bus because doing the honorable thing. But that's weird that he's only going after you, and obviously there was multiple people involved. I think he said to some waitress too. He like mentioned her name, but he really seems to be targeting you, and it seemed like there was clearly multiple people involved with this thing. So
right, and even touching back to the waitress, I mean, it's Portnoy's establishment. He should have had a rule or something that made the waitress not do it, or he should have had a manager that controlled the waitress. He can't just go and blame the waitress necessarily, I think, either, because that's her job. She was just doing her job, and whoever told her what to do.
Yeah.
So
someone goes, hey, write this sign. You're paid. You're told to do that. That's what you do. You write whatever signs they say. People pay a lot of money for bottles, and someone wants to say, and maybe you could just be like, if someone wants to say fuck the my thing, go ahead. If I have a bar and someone wants to say fuck the whites, go ahead. I don't really fucking care. You have free speech. If you want to say fuck the whites, that's your fucking. Doesn't mean I'll be friends with the guy saying fuck the whites, but they have a right to say it. I would rather know their real opinions than being fake.
Exactly. Like, we all have a right to say something, and that's kind of what I'm standing on right now, is that we should all come together and show that we are going to fight for our rights. We're not going to let them slowly dwindle away. And that's one of the main really big points that I'm trying to make, is that innocent people can be portrayed as absolutely demonic because we don't stand up for our rights, and I'm going to stand up for my rights, is what I'm saying.
No, it's good, and it's like, that's why I was glad when you stood up, and because I've seen him trying to send you to Auschwitz, and it's like, we need more regular people. There's obviously people like me, Stu, Dan Blazarian standing up, but we need normal people to say enough is enough. And it's hard when you got nothing, and the pressure. Your parents were probably really pissed off. Because I'm a racist, I know Indian parents are super harsh. It's probably true though, right?
Yeah,
they probably weren't true. You're like, yeah, a lot of stereotypes are true. That's the thing. So it's like
I was ready to get the belt. No, for all you know, they're about to take that and come at my parents for child abuse. No, my parents don't abuse me. That was a joke. That's
it's fucked up. You said that's probably true. They try and the fact he threatened your parents too, like.
What did my parents have to do with anything?
That's how low they are. Imagine saying I'm going to go after Dave Portnoy's parents or kids. That's how disgusting these people are. They'll try to go after your kids, your friends. It's just like, we need to have enough of it and just start back. We need to start pushing back on them. They want to cancel us. We're going to go after them. Fight them their own. I don't like to play dirty, but we're going to have to start playing dirty back against these fucking scoundrels.
Right, not necessarily even dirty, but just coming together as a group, kind of like how the Jewish community does so well, and just making sure that we all have each other's backs as well, and we are pushing for what we think is right.
No, exactly. Hire people that, like, for me, I hire people with the same ideology. I'm not going to hire people that think differently, because these guys, they fire anyone that thinks differently. Like, I know a lot of celebrities tell me they agree with me, but they're too scared to speak up because they know politically it could ruin their career. And that's a shitty situation to be in. I mean, I think they're being
Ex-
cowards, but but it
Exactly,
still
and
sucks
kind of
that
in
they
a
know the industry.
similar way. In a similar way, I've lost a lot of my friends, and it's not because they don't like me. It's not because they think that I did something wrong, because a lot of them know that I'm innocent. And a lot of them, well, all of them know that I'm innocent. But it's more about the societal backlash that they will receive. And because of that, I've lost connections with some of my closest friends. And it's kind of heartbreaking, you know what I mean?
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, especially when you're young and shit. That's sad that they caved just because of the pressure. I guess they don't want to be associated. Maybe they're scared of getting kicked out of school and stuff too. But
Right.
that's sad when friends betray you like that. It's like, have some
Yeah.
fucking balls and stand up. For me, I'm always with my friends. I always stand by them. Even if my friend's wrong, I do something bad, I just won't say anything at all. But I'll never ever bash a friend. You always stand by your friends, even if they fuck
Funny
up.
story. I had a friend. Well, he's still my one of my best friends. One of the ones I'm really still in contact with, and he started making videos about this whole situation and posting them in my support, obviously, because he knows that I haven't
Yes.
done anything wrong. And come to find out that his school yesterday sent an email regarding an anonymous student that may or may not have been involved at the incident at Barstool. So just to show how much effect that the media can have, this kid wasn't even there. This kid hasn't been to a club or a bar or outside past his house past 1 a.m. in his life.
Wow.
And he's almost looking like he's about to get in trouble. So it's
Yeah,
just kind of
no.
crazy
You can
to
see the
see.
power they have. Like at colleges, kids getting deported that were foreign students, with even visa holders. Like they shut down all the protests. Remember they're having the protests, the Israel. The cops came in, busted them up. It turned out there was these, text message groups between the powerful billionaire Jews demanding the cops come and bust them up. They didn't do that during Black Lives Matter. People say, "Oh, it's anti-Semitic." Say there's a conspiracy. Well, there's a Jew conspiracy right there.
Right.
It's like, how is it at the school, or how do people feel about all this shit? Like all these laws getting passed and schools getting cut off for funding if they don't stop anti-Semitism. Is the vibe with the students pretty
Uh,
anti-Israel, or
it's kind of more like the students are in support of the ones getting deported. For example, I'll give a story. Back at Temple, I got a new phone and my Temple ID wasn't on it. So I had to go into the gym, but I didn't sign in via the key code. And the security guard at the front made such a big deal. And like I said, I wasn't really the type to ever bow down to authority. And I said, listen, I don't have my ID. I can prove I'm a Temple student. Here's my Canvas page that shows my classes. I'm going in. She's like, no way, damn well you're not going in. I said, listen, fuck you. I'm going to the gym. Call the cops on me. Next thing you know, there's 3 cops within like 30 minutes looking for me around the gym. The people at the front desk who are Temple students don't fold. Matter of fact, they let the cops go away, and one of them comes and finds me and says, "Yo, bro, listen, I thought you were about to get deported or something. There was cops looking for you." And I was like, "Brother, don't worry. I'm a citizen. I would have handled it, but I appreciate what you
that's
did
cool?
and
That's cool. They backed
coming,
you up though, not
yeah, and coming and telling me and not pointing me in their direction." So it kind of goes to show that a lot of people are in support of what we stand for, and they don't want to just bow down and bend their knees and fold, you know?
I think the majority of people are in support of it. I think we're turning the tide. When I first started speaking up for Palestine, I was getting a lot of backlash, but it's changing. I'm a guy who used my real name, have pretty big fame. People are constantly coming up to the streets now, thanking me and saying, people saying I changed their mind. Like, the change is happening real world. People are fed up. I mean, obviously the genocide we're watching has been a big part of it. But then we see, instead of them being like, "Oh, sorry, we're doing genocide," we're giving them more money. They're trying to arrest people that are against it. They're trying to cancel people that are against it. They're deporting people. They're passing new laws, passing new acts, giving them more money. Fucking, they just tried passing an act we could get 20 years in prison for boycotting Israel. It's illegal to boycott Israel in like 30 states. It's like, is this the United States, or is this fucking the United States of Israel? There becomes a point where it's like, enough is enough. And I think that people have pretty much reached that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely at the end of my wits with how the media is portraying everything that I've been doing. Sorry, is the stream breaking up?
Yeah, there was a quick little cut out, but then you cut back in.
All good.
So
No,
it's all
yeah, I'm
good.
just
Yeah,
like I
it'll be no
said.
problem. If there's a couple little fuck ups on the thing, we could like edit it back together. We'll be good. So go on.
Yeah. No, I was just saying regarding what you were saying. I am kind of at the end of my wits with how the media can just push any narrative they want without any context and really just blow you up into looking like a terrible person. And honestly, I hope that people can see through what is being pushed, just like a lot of people can, and come together and not only support me. I'm just the face for the cause, honestly. I just want to get the cause done. And if my face has to be at the front of it, and if I have to take all the slander, and if I have to bear the weight of the boulder, and I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it, and I'm willing to take these sacrifices. I'm willing to lose my job. Hopefully I'll get it back, but I'm willing to get suspended. Hopefully I'll be reinstated, but there's no guarantee, and I'm taking all these risks and sacrifices just to push what we think and what we know is right. And I hope that people can come together and understand what I'm doing and kind of learn from it.
No, people need to stop being such fucking cowards because so many people tell me they agree with me. They can't do it. It's like, you think I didn't take risk when I started speaking up? You think everyone didn't tell me I'm being an idiot? But it's like, someone has to start changing the narrative, and it is changing. And now there's been some with more famous people doing it, and now it's people like you, regular people, that instead of getting, almost everyone would have gone to Auschwitz, apologized, wrote in Dave Portnoy a book report, bowed down to him, let him humiliate you for a fucking couple weeks, bully you around, and then finally he'd be like, all right, reinstate him. But, finally it's like good just to say, fuck you. What would you like to say to Dave Portnoy? Fuck you, or would you have a nice dialogue with him, or are you at the point where you think he's just a piece of shit?
I'm at the point where I've kind of just stopped watching what he posts and I just let people that support me send it to me. So I don't really want much to do with him besides kind of respond to whatever he does post when people let me know. But besides that, I mean, I think he knows what he was trying to do to me. I think he knows that a lot of people know that he was acting kind of like a 47-year-old child. I think a lot of people know that he was acting like a bully to a 21-year-old with absolutely no resources or backing, and I think that just speaks for itself. You know what I mean? I don't have much to say.
No, 100%. Didn't watch all the videos because he's doing so many of them, but I watched like two, and they were just the most obnoxious. I was like, God, I hate this guy. This is what's going to create anti-Semitism. Watching this, just this entitlement of thinking that like Jews can just like, how dare you speak about a Jew? Imagine if Muslims act that way, or Indians. Like, how dare you? I'll ruin your family. You said Indians are stinky. It's like, it's just so weird that we can talk
Bro,
about
I
every
hear that
other
like
group.
5 times a day when I was at Temple, but I'm not even at Temple anymore, so I can't hear it because my roommates even had to evacuate because someone doxed my school address, and due to their safety, they kind of felt that they had to leave too. So it's not just affecting me necessarily, because the people don't know whether my roommates like me, don't like me, but they're still impacting people that don't deserve to be impacted, just like me. So it's just kind of crazy how much influence the media has.
No, it really
And
sucks that they go after your friends and family. And it's like, they have this bully tactic, though, but if you just tell them fuck off, it doesn't work. I mean, it's a little different, I guess, for me, because, like, all my sponsors and stuff, I tell them, hey, if you think you sign with me, you're going to get about 100 emails and phone calls right away saying anti-Semite. Just tell them to fuck off, and then they'll disappear like that, because they have, like, these organized campaigns, and it works a lot of people. If people just say, yeah, go fuck yourself, I don't care, then they just, like, cower away, and you don't hear from them again. And more people just need to say, more people need to start saying, they can't cancel us all, and our opinion's becoming the norm. It's not like we're some fucking... Before it was a fringe, but now more people are sick of this. They're seeing this Jewish supremacy. Like, I'm not asking to be better treatment than a Jew. I'm just asking for the same treatment as a Jew. I don't think that's too much to ask.
and honestly, I'm just asking for the same treatment as a person in this situation where, if you don't do anything that deserves any punishment, then why am I being subject to the public opinion? And why am I being slandered across the internet? Why am I being defamed across the internet? Which I still think that Dave owes me an apology and some sort of restitution in terms of canceling my ability to ever live a so-called normal life again.
I mean, you could sue them for defamation. It takes
I've
money
been
and problem to do that, but that might be maybe fight them back with lawfare. That's what they do, always suing and trying to fight you with lawfare. Maybe you got to fight their own tactics back.
Yeah, let me explain my situation. I've been living in and out of my friends' houses. I've been on the road a lot. I've been in the car going to different restaurants, just grabbing food here and there. It's not like I'm living a great life, you know what I mean? Like it's been stressful on my parents, it's been stressful on me, and just the impact that it's having over something that I didn't do, over something that the media is clearly controlling the narrative, over something where Portnoy is acting like the sign was a huge deal when it was clearly provocative because of what Israel's doing in the Middle East, what Israel's doing to Yemen, what Israel's doing to Palestine. Like I said, these images of kids getting mercilessly slaughtered, babies with blood tearing down their face, fathers covering their kid from rubbling buildings. People noticed that, and I just had to document what the sign said. So I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm here with a Lebanese guy, and he's telling me before he started this interview, they have like an app where you could, like, sometimes they talk to Israeli soldiers when the war was going on. They'd be on there and they'd be saying things like, "We're going to come in and rape your women and children and murder your children," and like they meant it. And it's like, what kind of sick, demented people? Like, this is not a normal level of people. There's some kind of sick derangement going on in Israel. And again, it's not all Israelis. I'm sure there's some good Israelis, but it's not normal for a culture to be telling people to come in and rape and kill their women and children. And they do. They have rape camps in Israel that have been caught on TV. There was they got caught gang raping a guy in prison, and they arrested guys real quick for backlash. And people in Israel rioted to get them out, and they let them out. And now the guys are like reality show stars and shit. Like, that's just that's a sick society. And politicians are debating like we should be able to rape people, and they're raping men. They raped the women too, but there was a man they were caught. Just a way of like trying to demoralize you. It's just a sick society, and I don't want to fucking pay for it. I think a lot of people don't. Hence, that's where the sign "fuck the Jews" comes from. It's like it's a backlash from that. Doesn't mean you want to fuck all Jews. But you see this, and then passing laws, throwing people in jail, deporting them. You're gonna get more of these "fuck the Jews" coming things.
Yeah. As far as that, I also kind of want to touch upon kind of the hypocrisy. And I briefly touched upon it earlier where Portnoy literally sells hoodies that say cancel culture. He's going
Wow,
out and
I didn't know he did that.
literally sells them as part of his business and career. So on top of that, like for example, you posted a video of me spitting on crackheads. So it's fine for Israeli Christians to be getting spit on by other Israelis, but the moment I do it to a crackhead, it's all kinds of fucked up, you know?
It is kind of
Just
funny
a lot
how
of different like hypocritical little moments that I've been starting to notice, and it just kind of goes to show that your First Amendment rights and a lot of your other rights are not really that safe, because even if you do nothing wrong, it can be portrayed like you've done the world wrong, and we have to come together as Americans and as the world and kind of put our foot down, you know?
the First Amendment is the very, very most important thing. That's why it's the First Amendment. They're
That's why
trying
it's
to
the first.
rewrite it to be like First Amendment except, and they're really trying to add that in there. The Anti-Semitism Act they just passed. They're trying to put these special orders. Hopefully, judges will step in if they pass it. But the fact that these like AIPAC and these organizations completely control our politicians, it's like I think the Epstein is a black operation. I think they literally have a lot of our politicians on camera fucking children. That's the only explanation for the way they fight for Israel. So, the fact that they're willing to pass acts to throw American citizens in jail or try to pass acts to throw American citizens in jail for 20 years being anti-Israel, it's not just money. They have more on them.
Right, and it's just kind of going back to the control aspect where a lot of things are controlled, as we can see, the media, the funding. I'm sure Portnoy has a lot of money and it's under his control. And kind of relating back to bringing more control to everyone, I want to touch upon, Stu and his blessing and generosity that he gave me yesterday. The coin J-Proof in and of itself is meant to bring power back into the hands of the people. And when it's led by a group of people who hopefully can see it's affiliated with me, and I could have ran off with $750,000, but I made sure the public got it. Stu could have rug pulled his coin 18 times, but he's still keeping it going. It just goes to show that there are people out here that want to do the right thing. There are people out here that support doing the right thing, and it just takes a little bit of dedication to find it and find them and support them, and hopefully you end up supporting the right thing.
Like I don't know shit about crypto, but I know Stu's honorable, so I know his coin, so I probably should get some just because I trust him and he wouldn't rug pull it. So it's
Why not?
exactly. Might as well get some J proof. No, we
Why
that's that
not?
thing. We need to start working. We need to work together and get our own organizations because that's what they do. So we have to play back.
Right, and no, I think it's the perfect way to kind of get that in the role. But regardless, it's just a crazy scenario I've been in these past couple of days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it seems like you're handling it well. Anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up? Trying to think of what we didn't hit.
I feel like we've
I know
been
you've
on
been
here
going
for
through a
50
lot.
minutes. We got a good
Yeah,
amount.
so
We
you're
got a
good.
good amount in.
Yeah. No, I know you've gone through a lot of stress. So man, thanks so much for coming on. I'll get some clips made up of this, try to right away, and fucking throw them out there.
Of course, brother.
hell
Here,
yeah.
let me take a quick picture for my
Hell yeah.
for my Twitter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll try to get some of this shit out right away. At least some clips.
Awesome, perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for having me. I'll tag you on my X, and we'll
Cool.
keep in touch for sure when you come back
Oh
from
yeah, no,
Thailand.
I got your number. I'll save it. Like you said, we need to work together against these people. That's what they do against us, and they've given us no choice but to start working together against them. And it's important people
Yes,
like you
sir.
standing up. So thank you. Yeah, so we should have definitely some good clips from that. So talk soon.
I'll talk to you, brother. Thanks for having me.
That was fucking awesome.